Welcome back to another day in the arena, everybody. It's Untap Go, and today we are playing Combo Gobos in Historic. So this is a deck built around Muxus, Goblin Grandee. So this reveals the top 5, and we can put all goblins into play from the top for free. So basically we want to slam as many goblins into play, but we're low-key a Krenko deck. So one of our viewers suggested Krenko, and I love this card, so I'm really glad that you gave me that suggestion, and I hope that this is a deck that you enjoy playing, something you enjoy watching. If you want to try the deck out, I will leave a link in the description. But let's break this down. So we have Muxus to grab all of our goblins from the top. We have Krenko to put goblins into play equal to the number of goblins we already control. Krenko 10 Street Kingpin, which puts goblins into play when he attacks equal to his power. So we're trying to rip off the top into these two. With the help of Goblin Warchief and Chieftain, they're going to have haste. We can tap our Krenko to create more goblins. We can use Skirk Prospector to sacrifice them for mana, and we can just keep ripping into more and more Muxuses. So we can try to put as many goblins into play, give them all +1/+1, and attack for lethal damage. Now we also have some help of Castle Embereth in the land, so we can just pump our team a little bit more. We're also playing one copy of Embercleave because 1, nobody expects it from goblins, and 2, it's not a bad card. It's not a bad red card. We're playing so many creatures. Our whole point of the deck is to attack, so we want to be able to Embercleave. It's a nice little gotcha moment, you know. It's going to catch a lot of people off guard. It might even help close out some games unexpectedly. And then to help find all of these cards, we're playing Goblin Matron. This tutors up any goblin to our hand, so it's going to help us find our incinerators if we need to deal with a creature. It'll grab our Muxus if we need it. It'll grab our Krenko, our Warchief, our Chieftain, whatever we need. We're playing all 4 copies of Conspicuous Snoop because it has all activated abilities of all goblins on top. So it's going to have Skirk Prospector. It's going to have Krenko. This acts as basically the 5th through 8th copy of both of these cards. Playing Goblin Instigator puts 2 goblins into play, which we can use as sack fodder for Skirk Prospector. We're also playing Wily Goblin. This creates a treasure token, which is essentially the same as the Goblin Instigator in the form of what we're trying to use it for, but we can use the treasure token outside of, you know, having a Skirk Prospector in play or not, and it'll help us get into that turn 5 Muxus or even a turn sooner. And that's the deck, very short and sweet. So we're only playing 19 lands, that's 17 mountains and 2 Castle Embereth to be able to pump our team. And that's the deck. I also have a sideboard. I will leave that in the deck description if you want to check that out for best of 3. And with that, we're going to take us into the arena and see if we can get them with Combo Gobos. Well, we're up against a bot, so I think we have a pretty good chance of winning this game. I'm going to keep it. We don't have the combo, but we do have Goblin Warchiefs, and that'll be nice just to give our creatures haste and reduced casting cost. Let's go ahead and bloom this Black Lotus. Pew! Opponent has mulligan down to 6, so we're at an advantage here. We'll play the Wily Goblin. This will create the treasure that we can actually use for mana. And then we can play our Goblin Warchief and the Goblin Instigator same turn. Opponent's on the ramp plan. It seems like they're playing gates. Oh, this is gonna be a shit show for our opponent. We're still going to run out the Goblin Warchief first, and the Goblin Instigator. And let's get in for some damage. So next turn, we're in really good shape. We can play our Krenko, and that might just be enough if our opponent doesn't do anything. It doesn't seem like they're gonna. So we're going to play our Krenko. Now, if our opponent plays like Gates Ablaze or something, then we're in a little bit of trouble, but we do have double Goblin Warchief to follow up with. Yeah, this is fun. So, we'll play our 1 Goblin Warchief. Put them down to 3. Pass it up. If they Gates Ablaze again, we'll have another creature. Yep. If we draw any goblin off the top. No, okay. I'm actually not going to play any creatures. Because if I just play out into their removal, then we'll just be drawing in the top deck. They're at 3. I want to get them dead, so I'm going to hold this up as long as I can find even just a 1/1 goblin with haste. To be able to give it haste with Goblin Warchief should be enough. Mastermind Acquisition, that gives us a turn. Don't know what they're grabbing, though. Alright, and we did it. Goblin Warchief and Goblin Chieftain. And attack. Good game. not even going to try to pronounce our opponent's name, but this hand is really good, so we're going to keep it. Even our opponent gets to be on the play. Well, leading off with the tap land helps us. Go ahead and pass it up. Paradise Druid for our opponent, so they're going to be accelerating a little bit. Run out the Wily Goblin. Now I could ramp out like Warchief or something. No, I think I'll hold off. I think I'll hold off until next turn. That's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, I'll let it resolve. Cool, so we found a land. We'll play our Warchief first, just because it gives the cost reduction. And then if that can live a turn, next turn we can play both of our Chieftains. That's fair. At least we get a land out of it. I'm okay with that. Okay, opponent doesn't want to attack. So we have 5 mana. We have 6, but I'm gonna just go ahead and grab the Muxus now. Our opponent has to be able to rip it out of our hands. And then with Muxus, hopefully we can grab a Krenko or two with the way of giving them all haste. And I'm not gonna play anything this turn, just in case. Just in case I don't draw the 6th land off the top. But we are going to attack. Because what's 1 damage? They're not gonna trade. Yep. Alright, so now we'll pass it up, and we have the Gempalm Incinerator. We can deal 2 damage to something. Aetherflux Reservoir is really cool for our opponent, but it's kind of slow. It's pretty slow. I don't think they have much of a chance with Aetherflux. I mean, they might. I don't want to speak too soon, but we're going to go ahead and play Muxus. They have 3 mana, so they could still technically be holding up some form of interaction. That's a really good hit for us. And that's honestly just probably game, because we can tap Krenko to make a bunch of goblins, use our Skirk Prospector. Alright, so let's see what's in play. Our Warchief is what they're trying to kill. Well, I'll go ahead and sacrifice it for mana. Well, I probably should activate a Krenko first, but that's still fine, because we can sacrifice our Goblin Matron and our other few goblins. We'll just play out our Chieftain anyway. And we'll tap this for a bunch of dudes. Opponent hits us with a good game, just for safe measure. Yeah, I was going to play the other Chieftain just to give him enough damage for lethal, but wow. Okay, good game. This opening hand is okay. We really need to draw some lands, but if we do, then this hand is very strong. Also, sorry about like the weird... Alright, so I actually recorded... I was in the middle of the 3rd game previously, but I had to forfeit because I actually got a phone call from somebody I applied to, and they called me in for an interview, so I forfeited the game. I just left, went to the interview, got the job, and I just came back, and now I'm finishing the recording. So technically, we're 2-1. We're not 3. We're not 2-0. Currently, we're 2-1, if you want to be technical about it. But on the bright side, your boy's got a job. I got a job. So I start tomorrow. I'm not going to go into super detail about it, but I'm getting paid a decent amount, and this will be a great opportunity for me. It's going to help me grow as a person. It's going to help me be able to stay on top of my bills and to be able to put more money into this so I can provide better content for everybody, get more access to cards, and just keep playing the game that I love to play. So, end of that rant. Let's get back to the game. Let's focus. Our opponent decided to deal with our Goblin Chieftain, or our Warchief, so we don't get the cost reduction, unfortunately. But we do get the Goblin Chieftain. We'll have that on standby. But yeah, so I'm excited. I get to start this job. It's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So I'll keep my weekends, and that should give me plenty of time to be able to record and produce some content. And this isn't going to slow me down. It's not going to stop me from making content. I'm still going to be making content as much as possible. Like, I plan on still putting out content every day, and hopefully it just gets better and better. I really hope that everybody enjoys the content that I have been producing, and it's been a lot of fun. I've had a blast playing this game, and I've always enjoyed Magic. To be able to play for everybody on camera and kind of get my name out there a little bit, try to get some of these crazy deck lists and stuff out there, and just introduce some new players and some seasoned players to some new ideas, and even visit archetypes that are very common, to put like my own little bit of a spice on it. And I'm having a blast doing it, and I really hope that at the end of the day everybody enjoys the content as well. It would mean a lot, you know, to be able to continue to do this. So we can play our Krenko. Our opponent can deal 4 damage to a creature, so we need to knock this down below 3 so it can't kill anything. We could also try to set up for the Muxus. I still think we play out the Chieftain, get the most damage. That way we can actually kill the Chandra. Just get that off the board, so we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, anyway, so new job opportunity is always exciting. It's always scary, but at the end of the day, it's something that I need to do, and I'm glad that I'm able to do this for myself. It's very refreshing. We're actually going to go ahead and Goblin Matron. If this resolves, we can grab our Skirk Prospector, which I don't think we play just yet. Our opponent's most likely playing... They gotta have some form of a board wipe, right? Like, they might have Cinderclasm, maybe? Yeah, we're not actually gonna play it. There's no point. Let's just get in for some damage. But it lets it happen, so I don't know. I don't really know what they're playing. Oh, that's it? Alright. Opponent might still find a Wrath. They could play like Storm's Wrath or something. Alright, well they're just gonna scoot. Opponent's on the play, and this hand is juicy. If we end up not winning this game just because of how good this hand looks, I'm gonna be really upset, because this seems like it's almost everything we want it to be. We get to play the turn 2 Goblin, Wily Goblin, into turn 3 Chieftain or Warchief, into Krenko or Muxus. Also, huge shout out to Goblinoid for giving me the suggestion for the deck. Thank you for suggesting Goblins. This is a lot of fun to play. I forgot how strong that Goblins is in Historic, and it still you know, holds up to be pretty good. I wouldn't say that this is tier 1. I'm not going to put a tier list on anything necessarily, but overall, thank you Goblinoid for suggesting the deck. I really hope that you enjoy the gameplay and the content by all means. So I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the Wily Goblin and the treasure. We're going to play our Goblin Warchief. This might bite me in the ass, but it might not. If this lives to see a turn, then we're in good shape. Okay, cloak this for our opponent. That's not bad. So we're going to play this out as our land for the turn. We're actually going to Goblin Matron. We'll go ahead and grab our Skirk Prospector as well. And let's get in for some damage. So now we're set up. We can play our Krenko. I might actually play the Skirk Prospector. Ooh, Anger's good. Anger's really good. Still have a shot though. Nobody's playing Klothys. People need to start playing more Klothys. This card's really good. Alright, so we drew into our Skirk Prospector, which is still... Or, I mean, we drew into a Goblin Instigator, which is still really good. So we can go ahead and pass it up. And... now we have 6 mana for Muxus. Assuming our opponent doesn't wrath the board again. That's unfortunate. Anger of the Gods. Turns out to be a hell of a magic card, everybody. Well, let's just play Krenko then. Just keep deploying our Gobos until one of them sticks. Opponent might just kill us with Klothys altogether. Why the Sun-Scorched Desert, though? They're probably playing Ruminep Ruins as well, if I had to guess. So play our Wily Goblin. We're just gonna pass. There's no point in attacking. At least not yet. Alright, opponent goes for Slaying Fire to the face. We're down to 9. Okay. Well, we're down to 7. So our opponent's really trying to clock us here. They actually shut us off from having the Muxus mana as well, which is unfortunate, but... And there's another Cindervines. This is going to be a close one. Alright, so we need a land. Not a land, but this is still... It's okay, it's not perfect. Alright, take 2. Go down to 3. They can hit us for 1 with, or 2 more with the Cindervines. They like the card on top. That's probably enough to kill us. Alright. Show me what you got, Muxus. Ugh, that's terrible. It's not... I don't think this is lethal by any means, but it was a fair shot. Almost got there. Good game, opponent. Well, actually, so their Cindervine still needs a target. Oh, good game. Death to lightning strike. Whew, man. All right, our opening hand is not super good. It's not super bad either. We don't have a lot of combo potential, but the Conspicuous Snoop might find a Skirk Prospector. The Goblin Matron can if we don't by then. The Goblin Warchief and Chieftain, I mean... it seems like it's a playable hand. Right, against green red, and we found our Prospector. So we're actually going to play out the Wily Goblin and go for more of a ramp thing instead. Cool. And now we're like just completely blown out to a Cinderclasm or something, but... What are the odds that our opponent's playing it? Opponent stomps the Wily Goblin. Okay. Interesting choice. But we're going to go ahead and play this Chieftain. Give ourselves a bit of an attack boost and get in for some damage. Opponent found a second red source. Storm's Wrath is a possibility. Ooh, main phase Collected Company. not a bad hit, especially if they have a follow-up for the Burning Tree mana. Okay. Pressure the Chieftain, makes sense. Yeah, we're gonna play the Warchief as well. Try to get our costs down a little bit. And we'll just pass it up. Okay, Gruul Spellbreaker for our opponent, so they're gonna try again for some damage. They put the counter on it. They're growing their squad a little bit. No attacks. There I probably would have attacked, honestly. Krenko's a really good draw for us, so we're gonna go ahead and play that. Make a bunch of Gobbos. Yep, take that action. We're gonna search up Muxus. And then we just pass it up. Now our opponent needs to interact with our board in any way. I would have killed the Prospector if I were my opponent. Stomping the Chieftain made sense, but stomping the Wily Goblin over the Skirk Prospector doesn't seem all that great. Now our opponent could all attack here, and they might have Embercleave. Nope. Decide no attacks. Alright, so how do we want to do this? Well, we'll play our Wily Goblin first. It's free. Go ahead and sack this for red. So we need 4 mana. Not a super huge hit, but it helps. So let's attack Krenko. Play our Conspicuous Snoop. And our opponent just gives up. Yeah, because we were going to go super wide and then just attack for a bunch of damage. I think they would have been fine for at least another turn, but good game. Welcome back with the wrap-up, everybody. If you're still watching, thank you. Today we went 4-1 for a pretty good finish, and technically 4-2 because I had to forfeit a game. But this deck's a lot of fun. Goblins is still Goblins. It's still a combo deck. It's still aggressive. It still has some pretty explosive starts. It can still pull some crazy turnarounds with the help of Muxus and the help of giving our creatures haste. With, you know, Krenko really putting in the work. Again, Goblinoid, thank you for the suggestion. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and the gameplay. And if you did, please leave a like on today's video. If nobody liked today's video, leave a comment down below on a deck you would like to see next, and I would love to play it on camera. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.